Hello, how you doing? The live action How to Train Your Dragon. I have actually just come back from seeing it in the theater. I kept going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to see it because even though this is my favorite animated DreamWorks movie, I still wasn't sure about seeing it. But my sister really wanted to see it. She was inviting me and siblings and friends over, so I was like, yeah, fine. I guess I'll join up because I was going in curious, like I was really curious at least just to see how it goes. I mean, you even have the same director, Dean DeBlue, coming back to direct, so that's something. And now that I've seen it, I do have some thoughts on this movie. Um, I mean, spoiler alert, but at the same time, it kind of feels redundant to say that because there really isn't that much to spoil. So, I mean, yeah, that's for starters, yes. I've heard this a lot. Yes, this is very much the exact same movie. It is beat for beat, almost the same thing. Like tells the exact same story, and all the scenes are in the same order, and there are some superficial changes. Like some scenes are like they'll get to a certain destination in a different way, but it's still the same destination, if you know what I'm saying. So yep. I mean, we know the story if you've seen the original movie, which, of course, you got the stories about, Vikings having to fight these dragons and Hiccup's a wimp, and then he wants to kill Dragon, but then he shoots a net at a Night Fury. He befriends the Night Fury, realizing dragons aren't as bad as the Vikings think they are, and then they find out that the dragons are actually stealing all their sheep and harvest from them because they have to feed it to this bigger dragon, and so they have to go to the nest, and then they kill that dragon, and then all the problems are solved. And so, yep, again, very much the exact same plot, no real changes. Which, on the one hand, yes, that is very much annoying because I just wasn't invested. Like the entire time I'm watching it, I knew exactly what was going to happen because I've seen the original movie so many times. So it's like I know what's gonna happen. Like it's like so, there's so many points where I would actually say a quote and then they would say it too. Like you just gestured to all of me and like da da da, we're dead, and that's for scaring me. That's for everything else, stuff like that. There's so many quotes where I was just like, "You're not my son." Like so many quotes again where I was just like, "Yep, I called it." There were a couple I didn't, but there were a few they reworded, but it was fine. So yes, on one hand, again, it's annoying because I know the story by heart at this point, and it's annoying seeing the exact same thing all over again. But at the same time, the way the story is told is good. I will say that because I think back to some of the other Disney live action remakes. I haven't seen all of them, but a lot of them tend to do the same thing where they tell the same story, but the way they do it, it kind of feels like they were just going through the motions. Like half of them will have the same scene, but they'll rush through it almost like they know what happens, and so they just kind of go through the motions. Again, they just rush through the scene, don't really worry about giving the scene the proper time and dignity that it needs. This one isn't the same. It does every scene, I would say, has the same weight and dignity as the original movie does, to the point where I would say if you hadn't seen the animated movie and you saw this instead, you would still feel the same emotions and investment that you felt that other people felt watching the original movie. So that's pretty good at least. Because yeah, the acting, pretty good. You got Gerard Butler coming back as Stoic. That's all well and good. The other actors, they do fine enough up there. They don't like try and do an impression of the animated characters, which I appreciate. They do try to do. They just kind of say the same lines, but they don't like try to again do an impression. And the visuals are actually really good. There were only a couple points where I thought, that looks fake. Like, they're in front of a green screen. But for the most part, the CGI is really impressive. Like, it honestly was worth seeing on the big screen, especially the flying scenes. The test drive, one of my favorite scenes in any animated movie of all time. it actually looks really good in live action. Like I was impressed how good it looks, and same music too. John Powell comes back to do the score, even though I'm pretty sure he doesn't really change it all that much. For the most part, it is like copy paste of the original, but at the same time, I'm not complaining because it's an awesome score. So I don't really think you need to improve it. So there's that. And what other notes do I have? So there actually, so there. I mean, I do have notes on a few of the changes here and there. There's a couple weird ones. Like for some reason, they like Snotlout has this whole thing with his dad, where they just kind of added this little thing where he's like his dad doesn't really appreciate him, but then he does by the end. It kind of felt tacked on, and there's also this weird thing where, okay, you know that scene in the original movie where Hiccup, after the test drive, Hiccup and Toothless are relaxing, and you have these baby dragons come around, and Toothless shoots one of his plasma balls inside one of the baby dragons, and you see it like blow up. And Hiccup's like, "Oh, so you're not so fireproof on the inside." They cut that scene, which is weird because that scene was literally a setup for the end of the movie when they do the same thing to that giant dragon, the queen, when Toothless shoots his plasma ball inside that thing and blow it up. Like that was supposed to be a setup for that scene. So it's kind of weird they cut it. Because it's like I saw that scene and I was like, wait, they didn't show the setup for that. That's weird. So, I mean, at the same time, I'm not that upset about it because, I mean, it does have that same Barf and Belch, whatever that dragon is called, the two-headed dragon. It has sort of a similar idea where it'll like poof out like gas out of its mouth, and so I guess you could say, hey, they figured it out like from there. Just shoot plasma inside, it'll blow up. So I guess you could say they could figure it out from there. I don't know, but it's a little weird to me. And there were three changes I can think of where I'm like, well, okay, I'm fine with that. I mean, number one, not really a change, just something I thought was interesting. Okay, TJ Miller isn't in this. That's an immediate improvement. TJ Miller isn't in this, so that's cool. But okay, more serious though. One change I kind of like was the fact that they mention Valka, Hiccup's mom. They actually talk about her a few times here and there. It was actually kind of cool. Well, like, because in the original, the only time they talk about her is the scene where Stoic gives Hiccup the breastplate helmet. So, and they don't even mention her by name, but in this one they do. And they even mention like how she was kidnapped by a dragon. Of course, we know that happened in the second movie, and of course this is very much setting up the second movie where Hiccup, meets up with her, because they have confirmed they're doing the second movie in live action. So it was kind of cool how they set that up better. And I also kind of liked, the other thing I really liked, the change was they gave Astrid more to do. Like, she was cool in the original. Like, she's the determined Viking who really wants to get the job done. They actually show more of that in this one. Like the scene with the Deadly Natter, where Hiccup is like trying to ask Gobber, like, hey, what are Night Furies about, since the book doesn't have it. In this one, they actually have Astrid fight the Deadly Natter and then force it into its trap, unlike in the original. I thought that was cool. And they even had a kind of cool bit where Astrid is on Stormfly, gets a little too close to the Queen, and she ends up accidentally falling into the Queen's teeth and has to fight her way out of it. So that was kind of cool, actually. And yeah, so I thought the way they gave Astrid more to do was pretty nice. And yeah, no, not too many other notes to say. Overall, would I say this is a good movie? I mean, it's good for what it does, but I can't really say it is because I've seen the original movie again so many times, so I know what's gonna happen, and as a result, I'm watching this unfold, and I'm just like, okay, this is gonna happen next. There you go. But again, it is executed well. Like, I'm not thinking, oh, that felt phoned in at points, Like, I never got the sense that this is just phoned in. I got the sense that the director Dean DeBlue wanted to tell the story, but in live action, and he wanted to do it the best he could. Oh, this movie is 30 minutes longer too. I just remembered that. It's 30 minutes longer, but I don't know what, like, I noticed they added a few things here and there, but I was kind of surprised, like, oh, it doesn't really feel that much longer than the original, honestly. Yeah, kind of weird how that turned out. Would I recommend this? Sure. It's one of those things where it's like, I guess if you want to see it, go ahead. It's not something I would like, yes, go see it, like something like with Sinners. Like, it's not that. But I guess you could see it if you really wanted to. Ooh, and on a scale of 1 to 10, I was struggling if I would give it a 5 or 6. I think I'm ultimately going for a 6. It's a 6 out of 10 for me. It's an alright movie. Again, my general thoughts are pretty much the same as I said earlier, where it's like, it tells the story well, but because I know the story by heart, I just couldn't really get invested because I know what's going to happen, which sucks. But it is what it is. So that's my thoughts on the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I know I'm a bit late on this, but oh well, there were delays because life happens. And yeah, that'll be it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. Peace.